ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
Finally, we see Gandhi comes back and sets up a town called Kartarpur, and he lives there and he ends up setting up a community of Sikhs. So let's look now at the philosophy of Sikhi and what Guru Nanak Dev Ji actually spread in Kartarpur, and does that then tie in with Islam? Theologically, in terms of knowing the writings of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and what his philosophy was, anybody who claims he's a Muslim is either trying to change what Islam is or does not understand what Guru Nanak Dev Ji was actually preaching, because the two don't make sense together. You can't say Guru Nanak Dev Ji is a Muslim and yet everything he's telling you is not part of Islam. So firstly, we look at reincarnation. Now Islam says very clearly that reincarnation cannot be true, that when you go into the grave you wait there until the day of judgment. Now Sikhi says that you can come back in many lives, and Guruji again and again talks about that in the previous lives what you were and in your next life what you might be. So this idea of karma and reincarnation is completely anti-Islam. Secondly, as we said before, Guru Nanak Dev Ji does claim to be a prophet, and he's speaking the words straight from Waheguru. That in itself is anti-Islamic. But also he takes the next step of saying that people can worship him, they can matha take to him, they can bow down, and he actually gives them amrit by letting them wash his feet in water and drink that to become amritari in those days. Now that in itself is again anti-Islam, because he's raising himself up to become a partner with Allah, and no one is allowed to do that. Now here's the really interesting point. In Islam, only Allah is perfect and no one else is perfect. But in Guru Nanak Dev Ji's own Bani, he says, Karti ki mit karta jane, kya jane gur sura. Which means basically that either the creator knows the extent of the creator or the guru knows. No one else knows. That's a pretty high statement. And also he says that Pullan andar sabko apul guru kartar. Everybody can make a mistake, but not Guru and not Waheguru. Guru Nanak Dev Ji starts writing his own Bani, his own writings. And also he says these writings have come directly from Waheguru. So that goes against the idea that the Quran is a last revelation to the humankind from the Creator. But if he was a Muslim, why would he do that? Why would he write his own Bani and then claim that it was revelation? That's blasphemy. And also, at no point does he tell Sikhs to hold the Quran Sharif in high regard. We are not being told to follow the Quran Sharif. We're being told to follow Guru's Bani. When he's in Kartarpur, he gives people a morning part, which is Japji Sahib, a morning prayer, and he gives them an evening prayer, Rehra Sahib. At that point it was Sodar in the evening. And then also he gives people a nighttime prayer to do before they sleep, Kirtan Soila. Are these Islamic practices? He's writing his own prayers and he's saying to people, do these prayers. At no point is he saying, read the Panj Namaz, the 5 namaz every day. No, he's saying, read my prayers. That is, how can he be a Muslim by telling people to follow what he's saying and not what Islam is saying? And also, at the start of every statement, if he was a Muslim, he would write Bismillah ar-Rahman Rahim. This is by the grace of Waheguru, but he would use Islamic terms. Guruji never uses that. At the start of all of his writings, either he puts Ik Onkar Satnam through to Gur Prasad, or he says Ik Onkar Satgur Prasad. So he's saying that he has a power, he's Satguru. Now one other thing which we talked about earlier was the music. Now Guru Nanak Dev Ji writes shabads in rag. So the essential part before doing any kirtan is to have music and then sing Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Bani to that. How can someone do that as a Muslim? You have to read it out melodically, but you can't read and sing the Quran to music with the beat playing and different musical instruments playing. That is un-Islamic. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji makes music the chariot upon which his Gurbani sits. Now, if Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a Muslim, he would have had better relationships with the authorities of the time, which were Muslim. But he didn't. He was imprisoned. When he was in the town where Babur invaded, who's a Mughal emperor, he ends up being put into prison. How could that happen if he was a Muslim? There is no such thing as langar in Islam, the giving out of free food every day in a Gurdwara. But that's what Guru Nanak Dev Ji set up. He set up a langar. That's a very different concept from what Islam would say is giving 10% to the poor in charity. Guru is saying no, bring it to the Gurdwara and let's give people langar. Sikhi believes that Waheguru is everywhere and the truth is everywhere. So therefore, where the truth exists is Waheguru. Now, previously, other people may have had different parts of the truth. It's not for us to judge other religions, but as far as the Sikh is concerned, Guru Nanak Dev Ji had the complete truth from Waheguru direct. So therefore, obviously, other religions are going to have big similarities with Sikhi because the truth is everywhere. And people have had access to different parts of that truth. For a Sikhi would say, Guru Nanak Dev Ji has the complete truth. All parts of it are there. Now, just to address this argument in itself, lots of things in Islam are also in Christianity and in Judaism. And obviously a Muslim would say, well, that's because we have come out of that tradition, but we are the final evolution of those two traditions. However, does this mean that Sikhi has got similarities to Islam, or does it mean that Sikhi's got similarity to Christianity and Judaism? You can't just claim it to be just Islam. It comes back to the idea that the truth is not exclusive to anybody. And Sikhi would say that from the beginning, that truth is not exclusive, it's everywhere. Now, this does not make too much sense because on the one side, you've got people who are criticizing Sikhi who are Muslim and trying to prove that Sikhi is false. At the same time, you've got people that are trying to say that Sikhs are actually, that Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a Muslim. So you can't have it both ways. He has to be one or the other. And the most important point here is, did Guru Nanak Dev Ji tell anybody to follow Islam, or did he tell them to follow him? And actually you see that Sikhi is very clear. Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, if you want to play the game of love, step onto my path. Not to step onto Islam, but step onto my path with your head in the palm of your hands. Give yourself to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and he will teach you how to play this game of love. Now, some people also say Sikhi is basically like Sufism, right? And Sufism is from Islam, so therefore Sikhs must be Muslim. And the reason that doesn't make too much sense, a lot of Muslims will say the Sufis have already performed bid'ah. They've left Islam because they changed the way that worship is done. You shouldn't be able to change how worship is done, but in Sufism they have qawwali, they have singing, they have many other things which are not allowed in Islam. They've gone away from the teachings of Islam. So Sikhs are also therefore by the same standard away from Islam. Other people say, well, Guru Nanak Dev Ji followed Kabir Ji. Kabir Ji was a Muslim. I mean, if you read Kabir Ji, he is so critical of Islam. How could he have been a Muslim? He would have left Islam long time ago. He criticizes Islam so strongly, he could not be a Muslim. So if Guru Nanak Dev Ji has a lot of things which are similar to what Kabir Ji says, there's one big difference. Guru Nanak Dev Ji claims to be Satguru and enlightened directly from Waheguru. Kabir Ji doesn't. Kabir Ji had a guru. His guru was Ramanand.
Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru.